A very warm welcome to all of you, dear student. We are learning about the drug discovery and development. In this course, we have learned the some portion of basic concept of drug discovery and development in the previous lectures. Now, the concept of basic drug discovery and development process will be continued in this lecture. So in the previous lecture, we have learned about the drug discovery process. We have analyzed why a drug is needed. We have evaluated about the target, various type of drug targets, the target identification strategy, target validation process. So in this lecture, today's lecture, we have set following objective and we will learn about the overview of drug discovery screening assays, drug development process, hit to lead identification, the drug discovery strategy from hit discovery to the lead optimization, and the source of new drug. We will also evaluate and examine the various animal model used in the in vivo research, their classification and the factors which influence the animal research. So what is the drug discovery screening assay? So we just start with the overview of the drug discovery screening assay. So here is the various steps like target validation. We have discussed the target validation in our previous class, the compound screening, secondary assay, in vivo analysis. So the target validation can be done using genetic, cellular, in vivo, experimental model to identify and validate the target. So the compound screening can be done using the STS, high throughput screening, selective library screening, structure-based design. Also, the secondary assay can be performed using in vitro, ex vivo secondary assay as well as selectivity and liability assay. The in vivo analysis encompass the compound pharmacology, disease efficacy, early safety and toxicity study. So when we discover and identify a candidate drug using the preclinical safety and toxicity package. So in the drug development process, this is the figure that illustrates a basic research approach to the approved drug. For example, the basic research can be done using the target identification as well as with the target validation process. So for example, 5,000 to 20,000 compound, if you proceed with this large amount of chemical library for the drug discovery process, so you can proceed with the lead identification as well as the lead optimization process. We will discuss the lead optimization process in our next lecture. In the preclinical research, there is only 250 compound can be entered and can be screened using the pharmacodynamics study, pharmacokinetic study, and toxicology study. Next, when you have entered with the 5,000 to 20,000 compound in the drug discovery steps, the preclinical research only identify only 250 compound can show the efficacy in the preclinical research, and it only 5 compound will reach. There is a probability of 5 compound can be entered in the clinical study. It might be 1 compound or 2 compound also, and it might be 10 compound also. So the clinical study will be performed with the phase 1 study, phase 2 study, phase 3 study. So after the phase 3 study, a drug molecule can be approved through a competent authority like FDA. So the approved drug, it can be one compound or it can be two compounds. So in the approved drug can be done using the regulatory approval, and it has the drug launch in the market. So post marketing and phase 4 study will be conducted accordingly. So hit to lead. What is the hit to lead? Once a promising drug target has been identified, researcher aims to identify molecules that can interact with the target to produce desired biological effect. So once you have entered for the basic research with a large set of molecular library with 10,000 compound or 5,000 compound, and you got some effective compounds, the compound with that show efficacy, you in the in silico study or in vivo study, then you just identify a hit molecule. That hit molecule can be converted in a lead molecule and recognized as a lead molecule after validation of in vivo and in vitro study. So a hit molecule is a molecule that show the desired type of the activity in a screening assay. So it is important to develop the pharmacologically relevant screening assay for the hit discovery and for the subsequent hit to lead selection process. The lead compound are selected from a collection of hits by refining the screening criteria to enable the selection of the post-promising molecule for the further development. The secondary assay employed for the lead selection may screen for off-target effect as well as physiochemical and ADME profile. So ADME is stand for absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. So here this figure illustrates about the hit identification and hit to lead process. The hit, if you identify a hit molecules from a chemical library, then you after validation with the using several screening process or assay process, it can be discovered as a lead compound. So the lead compound, if this lead compound doesn't fulfill your desired criteria, then it should be optimized for their functional. So after lead optimization, a drug candidate can be obtained. So the lead optimization process can be done using a synthesis of analog, biological evaluation, target set organization, SAR studies, QSR study, and proposition of the analog. So these are the study, SAR and QSR study is a part of a structure-based 3D QSR model. So we will discuss about in detail QSR study. So drug discovery strategy from hit discovery to the lead optimization can be demonstrated. So here is the ligand structure and here the protein structure. As you know that for the discovery of any compound, you should have a protein structure or ligand structure. If you do not have protein structure, you can identify it using homology modeling or threading. There are several tools and techniques that can predict by which you can predict the protein structure. So if you doesn't have protein structure and you do not want to predict a protein structure, then you can go for the ligand structure. And there is ligand based drug design study also, and there are various tools and software is available for the ligand based drug design. So in this figure, we can analyze that if you put protein structure here and the ligand structure here, then if the protein structure is known, this is the condition in which the protein structure is known and ligand structure is also known, then you can go for the structure based drug design. The structure based drug design consists docking, scoring and virtual screening. If the protein structure is unknown but ligand structure is known, then you will go for the ligand based drug design. This ligand based drug design can be performed using the pharmacophore modeling, 3D and 2D QSR modeling, virtual screening. Another criteria is that when a ligand structure is unknown but a protein structure is known, then you can go for the de novo design. The de novo design is actually is the beginning from the scratch, and you can perform a de novo design, or you can identify a potent drug using the virtual screening. If a ligand structure is unknown and protein structure is also unknown, then you will design a library using high throughput screening, using the combinatorial chemistry, using the CombiChem and virtual screening. So you just need a drug target and a drug molecule for discover a novel drug. So now we are proceeding further and to see the sources of the new drug. So there are various sources of the new drug. Like the term drug was derived from the French word drogue or dried herbs, and a crude drug is any naturally occurring unrefined substance derived from the biological or mineral source intended for the use in the diagnosis, cure, mitigation and prevention of the disease. The source of drug may be natural, may be synthetic or may be biosynthetic. So the animal source of drug, the drug which is obtained from the animal source are whole animals, glandular products like thyroid organ, liver extract, polypeptide venom, non-peptide toxin. For example, fish liver oil can be used as a drug, musk, beeswax, hormones, enzymes, and antioxidant sera are the product obtained from the animal sources. So you can directly obtain this animal source of the drug and you can use for the treatment of any disorder. So the mineral source of drug consists the mineral or their salt are useful pharmacotherapeutic agent against different elements. Example, ferrous sulfate in iron deficiency, anemia, magnesium trisilicate, aluminum hydroxide and sodium bicarbonate as antacid, zinc oxide ointment as a skin protectant in wound and the eczema. So there are microbial source of drug also. So microbial source is a huge source of the drug. So many life-saving drugs are obtained from the microbes. We know that penicillin can be obtained from the Penicillium notatum and chloramphenicol from the Streptomyces, neomycin from the Streptomyces fradii and the streptomycin from the Streptomyces griseus. So next, the plant source of the drug. Plant source or natural source, herbal source of the drug has a very broad spectrum, and the entire plant part, secretion, extrude of the plant are the source of the plant drug. You just amazing that about 25% of our drug are prescribed worldwide comes from the plant source. So 121 such active compound being in the current use. Of the 252 drugs considered as a basic and essential by the WHO, and 11% are exclusively of plant origin. and a significant number are synthetic drugs obtained from the natural precursors. So it is estimated that 60% of anti-tumor and anti-infectious drugs already on the market or under clinical trial of the natural origin. For example, quinine from the Cinchona species. You all know about the vincristine and vinblastine. Atropine from the Atorpa, morphine from the Papaver somniferum. We can also obtain some drug from the synthetic source, like you can use the combinatorial chemistry, synthetic biochemistry. So the potency, efficacy, and other parameter of the natural drug may be improved by semi-synthetic process, where the chemical structure is altered without any change in the nucleus. For example, heroin, insulin, 6-amino penicillinic acid derivatives. Drugs are also prepared synthetically. For example, aspirin, oral antidiabetic, antihistamines, chloroquine, chlorpromazine, general and local anesthetic, paracetamol, and many more. So these are the synthetic products. So genetically engineered drug is also a source for the new drug, because we can obtain a drug using a genetic engineering using the recombinant DNA technology. So genetically engineered drug using include the erythropoietin, tissue plasminogen activator, and I just would like to emphasize that the tissue plasminogen activator is the only one FDA drug is available in the market for the treatment of ischemic stroke. The hepatitis B vaccine, recombinant DNA engineered insulin, interferon alpha 2B for the hairy cell leukemia. Now we have learned about the source of the drug. Now we are moving for the animal model of the disease. So without animal model, we cannot discover a drug, we cannot develop a drug, because the animal model or in vivo study is a important study for the drug discovery and development process. So the use of animal as experimental model for human disease is currently seen as an imperative in the understanding of the causes, means etiology, biology, and prevention of the disease. Animal model over the year have been used extensively in the biomedical field since the early 1980s. Current understanding of these molecular tends to be a specific combination of an animal species, cell, tissue, organ, gene, or a challenge agent, and its directed route of exposure to produce or mimic a disease process or pathological condition in multiple important aspects approximating or corresponding to the human disease scenario or condition of the interest. The laboratory animal play a crucial role in the scientific research, discovery, and technological advance, and in a substantive manner improve the lives of the people and other useful animals. Animals are used as a model to study human biology and disease, and as a test subject for the development and testing of the drug, vaccines, and other biologicals like antibodies, hormone, etc. to enhance and promote the human health. So an important fact is that animal model have to be reproduced. Now we can see the classification of animal model. There is exploratory animal model. The exploratory animal model is aiming to understand a biological mechanism, whether this is a mechanism operative in the fundamental normal biology or a mechanism associated with an abnormal biological function. The exploratory animal model is aim to understand a more or less complex biological problem. The explanatory model need not necessarily be reliant on the use of animal, but may also be physical or mathematical model system developed to unravel the complex mechanism. The predictive animal model, these animal models are used to discover and quantify the impact of the treatment, whether this is to cure a disease or to assess the toxicity of a chemical compound. Next is the homologous animal model. If the symptoms shown by the animal and the course of the condition are identical to those of the human, model fulfilling these requirements are relatively few. But an example is well-defined Legion syndrome like neuroscience. Isomorphic animal model is the animal model if the animal symptoms are similar, but the cause of the symptom different in the human and the model. So it is the isomorphic animal model. However, most models are neither homologous nor isomorphic, but may rather be termed partial. These models do not mimic the entire human disease, but may be used to study certain aspects or treatment of the human disease. Now we will look after about the classification of disease model, disease animal model. So first of all is the experimental or induced animal model. So when we induced some diseases in the animal, it is called induced or experimental animal model. As the name implies, induced model involve healthy animal in which the condition to be investigated is experimentally introduced. For example, the induction of diabetes mellitus, induction of the cerebral ischemia. There is the middle cerebral artery occlusion model also exists to mimic the condition of the cerebral stroke. A spontaneous animal model. These animal model of the human disease utilize naturally occurring genetic variants or mutants. So many hundred of the strain stroke with the inherited disorder modeling similar condition in human have been characterized and conserved. For example, snail dwarf mouse without a functional pituitary. A genetic modified animal model is also exist. For example, for the study of the Parkinson disease, for the study of the Alzheimer disease, you can use the genetically modified organism. So the insert of the DNA into the genome of animal or the deletion of the specific gene gives rise to sometime unpredictable outcome in the term of scientific result as well as the animal being in the first generation of the animal produce. So mutation induced by the use of mutagen like ethyl nitrose urea is another approach to the generation of the new mutant, which may serve as a model of the human disorder. Some site-specific mutagenesis gene knockout is another perspective of genetically modified animal model. So in many aspects, these mutants may be similar to the spontaneous mutant and to the one generated by the transgenic embryo manipulation. Next are the negative model. In this model, and this term is used for the species, strain or breed in which a certain disease does not develop. Model of the infectious disease are often restricted to a limited number of susceptible species and the remaining unresponsive species may be regarded as the negative model for this particular human pathogenic organism. The negative model thus include animal demonstrating a lack of the reactivity to a particular stimulus. You can think that several diseases that cannot be reproduced in the animal model. So the main application is a study on the mechanism of the resistance to gain insight into the physiological basis. The negative model essentially referred to as control model. So control animal, which are useful for validating an experimental result. Orphan animal model. The orphan animal model or orphan model disease is the term that have been used to describe a functional disorder that occur naturally in a non-human species but not yet been described in the human, and which is recognized when a similar human disease is later identified. So these all about the animal model. Now we are moving for the factors that can influence the animal model. So there are several factors that can hinder, that can modulate the animal research. The factor that can influence the animal research have been divided into two principal sections, that is intrinsic factors are those inherent to the animal itself, such as its genotype, age, and extrinsic factors are those external to the animal that can influence its response. So the intrinsic factor and extrinsic factor can be tabulated here and represented in this table. So the intrinsic factor can consist the genotype, the age, animal sex, the human immune status, the animal nutritional status, the endocrine system, and the circadian rhythm. These all aspects cannot be controlled using by the extrinsic factor. Although the extrinsic factor can be divided into two groups, for example, physical factor and the chemical factor. The physical factor consists temperature, relative humidity, air, noise, light, and radiation, while the chemical factor consists xenobiotics, diet, water, pharmaceutical agents, microorganisms, and stress. So these factors can influence the animal model research. Now I am concluding of today's lecture. We have emphasized on the, we have gone through the overview of the drug discovery screening assay, drug development process, hit to lead identification, the drug discovery strategy from hit discovery to the lead optimization, source of the new drug. We have examined or analyzed several types of sources of new drug, the animal model, their classification and factor influencing the animal research. So now there is the question answer session, and I am giving you some question for your practice at your home. So you just do your homework, you just search the Google, internet, or refer any research or review paper, case study to answer this question. The first question is you just tabulate the different type of intrinsic factor that can influence the animal research. However, I have discussed in brief. The question 2, in this question 2, you should just answer the question of differentiate the explanatory and exploratory animal model. Question 3 is regarding discuss the natural source of the drug. So this is the easy question, and you can practice it at the home. Now the fourth question is the outline the different database of the drug. I have not covered the different database of the drug in this lecture, but you have to do at your home. So our next lecture will be based on the importance of the preclinical study, steps involved in the preclinical studies, types of preclinical study, introduction to the toxicology, organ-specific toxicity, toxicity study. So now I am closing the lecture, and we will meet again on the unit 2nd.